episode 2 of this week's Dead Guys Talking. I'm Johnny Walker.
I'm Tyler.
All right, and now we're going to jump into the portion of our news portion of The Walking Dead. This is where, we hear anything going on or we discuss just kind of predictions or whatever. This week, very soft. We thought last week was soft on the news. Man.
Yeah, not much going on, but it is, the mid-season break, so
Yep.
a lot going on, holidays, getting playoff time for football. So.
Right. Oh, man. Talking about The Walking Dead. Your poor Raiders. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Of course, Raiders. Of course.
Man, talk about... Oh, we won't talk about that. I don't want to see a grown man cry.
Yeah, it might happen.
So on this portion, we are going to go into our weekly segment, as we do, and that is our character spotlight. This particular character spotlight, I want to go off the beaten path just a little bit. So we're not going to be reviewing an actual character, so to speak, but in my mind it kind of is, and we're going to be spotlighting the prison.
The prison.
Yes.
Which is a character.
It was for way too long.
And played a big role in keeping the group safe.
Sorry.
And,
This is the Terra of beers.
this is the Dale of beers.
Right? Yes. So, yeah, it's just... The prison was such an integral part of the show and of the comic book. It was its own entity, basically. You could argue that our cast stayed there for way too long.
Yeah, with the threats that were, obvious, and it cost them obviously,
Dearly.
So, if it wasn't for that threats, then no, I don't think we would say that they stayed there too long, because it was perfect, and then the drunk had to run over the fence, the neighborhood drunk.
Exactly, and it's just like it's a funny dynamic because your whole regular life you're trying to stay out of prison,
right?
And in this kind of environment, this kind of world, you want to go to the most secure, most safe place, and that is basically just a high max.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we had some great character moments at the prison. We had some fantastic character deaths, and we also had some characters that were supposed to die that did not.
Yeah, absolutely. In the prison, we met not only for some of them a short and brief time. Well, the only really cool one out of the group that was already there was Axel.
Axel was awesome,
and he was cool in both the comics and in the show.
Absolutely.
Everyone else needed to die.
Yeah.
Like Axel was the same.
Yeah, I remember him.
He kind of looked similar to him too, just smaller.
Yeah, he didn't have the awesome lion's mane though. He looked like Mufasa in
it
the
was
comics.
more, stringy and scraggly.
Yeah.
In the show. But yeah, in the comics, he just had this awesome mane. He was a little bit kind of a bigger, tougher guy.
Yeah. He was kind of hitting on Carol in the show, right?
Yeah, he was. And then
who doesn't though?
That's true. I think the rest of the characters were different, but some of the names were the same. I think Thomas shared the same name, but there was the creepy guy in the comics wasn't in the show. I don't remember.
Right? Yeah, because the Green family had a lot less people in the comics, or I'm sorry, in the show than in the comics. And I was wrong when I told a couple episodes again. I want to correct, and I said, well, okay, I was wrong and I was right, and I don't want to spoil anything too big, but I did say that Herschel was dead, but not dead in the comic. That's only half right. And,
yes.
I don't want to get there. I don't know. Have you gotten to a certain point in the comics where...
Just as I pulled up here, caught up to The Walking Dead.
Wow. So you're up. So, you're done with No Way Out.
84.
Ooh.
Yeah. Literally,
nice.
As I pulled up here.
He Ubered here. Don't worry.
Yeah, I wasn't driving.
You wasn't driving and breading or anything.
Hey, Bluetooth on the dash, good to go.
Any cops watching, you see his truck, that's where you need...
Hands free.
Ooh.
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I'm going to choke this down so fast.
Yeah. So, won't be a big spoiler for me, but...
Okay, but you know what? We're a dead show, and this is what we do. We talk about spoilers. This is spoiler warning. You can't get mad. So Herschel is dead. He did die. I said that he was still alive in the comics. He's not, obviously. Herschel does die in the comic. A lot less gloriously in the comic than in the show. I was kind of pissed about that. I mean, he kind of was stuck and, surrounded by walkers and the Woodbury people. But he just, after Billy died, he just kind of gave up and was just like, go ahead and do it. In the comic, it was a lot, or in the show, it was a lot more
ceremonial. Almost?
Yeah. We got Tyrese's death basically, which was amazing. Both reading Tyrese's death or watching Herschel's death in that same vein with the katana and the governor. It was extremely impactful both ways. I would arguably more say how Herschel died in the show.
Yeah, I would agree. And I was sad to see Tyrese go.
Yeah.
In the comic books because he was really cool in both the show and the comics.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was sad, but I don't know, man. The person that Herschel became in the show was just a super rad dude.
So awesome.
And yeah, and it was just like, I don't know, ceremonial almost.
Yeah.
And then the emotion from Beth and Maggie and Clay and Rick and everybody, So.
Yeah, I have to say, like Maggie's character on the show, I like a lot more than in the comic.
Oh, dude, a million.
So far, I know she gets after. She really starts to blossom after issue 100. The big issue. But I mean, so far though, she's so much more dynamic on the show than in the comic book.
Yeah, in the comic book, she shows much more weakness.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't show a lot of weakness in the show. I didn't think so.
No.
Even from the early days, she was just kind of I don't know. I don't know if tougher because in she's like more pretty, I think, in the show than they portray her in the comic books. But
she seemed like more of a Beth Maggie amalgamation in the comic because especially when we first meet Beth in the show, how she's already on suicide watch and all this stuff. I think it was more of an integration with the two characters in the comic book because they then they split them off in the show. But going back to the prison, the Green family, God, they just got it so bad. Like you had Billy go, you had the two kind of older
twins. I think were they twins?
Well, that was the little girls, but the ones that didn't even make it out of the barn.
Oh yeah.
Like, there was like a brother and a sister. They got eaten there, and then the poor man. That comic scene was like talk about one of the most shocking deaths. That's fucking creeper, killing those two little girls. It was horrible.
And you're just like, what the? You're still trying to put it together, and you're trying to figure it out, and you just see, what you see on the floor, and it's crazy.
And then Glenn goes in and takes care of business too. That was one of the craziest scenes in the comics that I think are in the comic for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That and the Carl scene. Did I oversell it last week?
Yeah, no, I knew it was coming too. I knew it was coming. I was like, oh, this is,
Yeah.
And then,
they were called the claimers on the show because I claim that, I claim that.
Yeah,
and they were stupid on the show, but in the comic,
yeah, but luckily, I mean, I was scared it was going to go even further, and I'm just like, no, please don't. And then it was over, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that was bad, but I was kind of.
It was sick.
Almost thinking it was going to be worse. So I'm
Yeah.
glad they didn't go there. Because in the comic books, they push the limits more. I mean, I didn't even think it could be more like gory and more brutal than the show. But no, the comic books
it's F-bomb every 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's wait till you get to Negan. Oh my God, he's just like a beep
really?
the entire time. It's great.
Okay, so we keep on getting off topic.
That's fine.
The prison. What do you think about the difference in how? I mean, in the comic books, they found the prison so soon.
Yes.
Compared to the show.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the differences in, I guess, their journey to the prison in the comics versus the TV show?
I liked it better in the comics, to be honest, because they did find it quick. They didn't spend so much time on the farm. I know they went back to the farm, but even that was an issue or two, thing. And that's where they met, Rosita and Eugene and Abraham. but I liked it a lot. I liked it that it was a lot more streamlined in the comic book because they were there, and then the time that they spent there didn't seem to have dragged on as much. Like in the show, it's like they got the Woodbury people there, and then they went like a month without any incident from the governor or any illness and all this stuff. And I know they were going through like a kind of a writer's strike from what I heard during season 3. Something about the writers, like someone quit or there was a writer's strike or something, and so they kind of didn't know, they were kind of frozen in place. So I think that's what happened. It was unfortunate, but they're still in the show. There's a lot of good moments in the prison as well.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I like their journey to the prison in the comics much better. I think season 2 is by far my least favorite season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think people are getting bored in season 7 and they still don't get it. If you sat through season 2, how are you not going to sit through this season?
Yeah, there's nothing. Well, there's one thing wrong with season 7, but I digress. But season 2 has its supporters too. I know people. I don't know why. I know people that actually like season 2. That they're like, oh no, that was cool. But the best thing about season 2, and again we're going off topic, but that's when we heavily focus on Shane.
Yeah, I just think it was just too drawn out. I mean, we spent almost the entire season looking for Sophia, and then trying to convince Herschel to let everyone have guns. I mean, it was just. I think it could have.
And Dale arguing.
Yeah, Dale being Dale.
Yeah, Dale being Tara.
I think that whole season they could have really fit into a couple episodes.
Absolutely. Yeah, that should have been the 6-episode treatment. Season 1 was far more dynamic than season 2 was.
Yeah.
And they packed so much into 6 episodes.
Right. Yeah, that's true. And then season 3 was just insane. I mean, not insane, but I guess it was exciting again.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the character deaths we got at the prison. So we had to say goodbye to T-Dog.
T-Dog was before the prison.
No, he died in the prison. He died saving Carol's life.
Oh, you're right. He almost died in season 2.
Where he ripped his arm or whatever.
Yeah. You're right. He did. So we lost T-Dog. We lost Herschel's leg.
Very nice.
Which I like how they added that into the TV show because the whole comic they're just chopping off people's limbs left and right.
Alan and Dale got it in the comic.
Alan, Dale.
Dale got a lot. Dale stole a lot of people's stuff.
Yeah.
He stole Bob's stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But technically, he had it first.
Yeah, exactly. He was such an idiot on the show. They're like, we gotta kill this guy out. We'll give it to other people.
Give all of his stuff to
Bob. Okay, yeah, let's get Bob.
You know that guy we briefly mentioned at Woodbury?
We're gonna give him a bigger part than Dale.
Let's give him Dale's dad.
Man, yeah.
Okay, so we lost T-Dog, Herschel's leg,
Lori,
which was a big death.
Why don't we jump into the next one while we're talking?
I'm ready when you are, brother.
So this one's going to be Great Basin Wild Horse Amber Ale. It's an alt style. It says kick it up a notch.
Untamed.
Ooh, this one's a 5.2. This is less alcohol than the Bitch and Berry. Wow.
Kick it up a notch.
So yeah, I mean the Lori death was... Lori death, that's kind of when we first saw that the walkers do become kind of docile once they had their fill of eating. Which I thought was a kind of a important scene, just like we saw with Morgan's wife, like we mentioned before. How she still had kind of some kind of memory. I thought this was interesting just to convey that once a walker does kind of have its fill. I mean, this thing was bloated and overfilling, but it does show that the walkers do get full. So, true to its name, it is amber colored. Not lying.
Can't really get too much of an aroma from
it. It's bready. It tastes, it could taste the yeast and the hops, which you'd expect out of an amber ale. Or not taste, but I smell rather.
Judging from the smell, it's maybe going to be rather tame.
Yeah, yeasty, bready, biscuity. Try it out.
Let's give it a shot.
All right, number 2.
Pretty tame for an
A
Amber.
lot better.
Yes, and much better.
Woo!
Much better. Not bad for an Amber.
Weedy, bready.
Weedy, bready, smoother than a lot of Ambers. Just
Yeah.
the right amount of bitterness.
I like almost next to no hops, I would say.
Yeah.
Very malty.
A little, yeah.
Malt's very front and center in this one. A lot better than last name. Oh my god, whatever that was.
Yeah. that berry was not so
Not so bitchin'. That was a bitch of a berry. Alright, so yeah, we had Lori T Dog.
Lori T Dog. Herschel's leg. Oh, Axel.
Axel, yeah.
Oh, all the inmates.
All the inmates.
All the inmates died.
All the inmates, true to the comic. We had Herschel, of course.
Well, yeah. Oh, the governor.
The Governor Merle.
That was a big one.
Happened in the time frame,
Yeah. In the time frame, but not.
not at the prison, right? I know people are screaming at us on the internet right now. You're
know.
forgetting
You
blah blah
guys-
blah.
Kick your ass.
Yeah. A lot of
Tyrese's girlfriend.
Tyrese's girl. Yeah. Oh yeah. But like half of the Woodbury people.
Yeah, Patrick, the kid
Yeah.
that I think first started the spreading the infection.
Right.
And
Lizzie's marbles. Basically.
Yeah.
She lost her marbles at the prison.
Their parents. Oh, then there was the doctor.
Which doctor?
It was towards the after they had been trying to fight off the infection for a while, and then shit. I need to rewatch some of these seasons.
I know. Yeah, just bunch of Woodbury people,
yeah.
bunch of that's obviously a lot of the Woodbury and Martinez all in the same time frame. All those people died. The governor's girlfriend, Tara's sister. Yeah, but so the prison took a lot of lives. It was a good setting for Rick went through a lot there. That's probably where we saw Rick at the lowest.
Rick Sanity.
Rick Sanity. That's where we got crazy
lost.
Rick. Yeah, with the phone and everything. He lost his wife right there, and for a second, for more than a second, he thought he lost his newborn daughter or newborn stepdaughter, whatever. But there was a lot of things that happened in the prison, and I appreciate the prison for what it was. It was I think far more epic in the comic how it got overtaken, and it's just like the governor just kept coming back and pissing his people off, and they're just like no, and he was really weird and crazy in the
he was much crazier in the comics.
Yeah.
And the show kind of drug the whole governor thing on for a while. Yeah,
and it drug it on, but it made him more of a dynamic character, in my opinion.
Absolutely, I agree.
He was like we've said this a lot. He was more of a kind of a gentleman. He was more of a thinker, prideful guy, and then in the comic, he was just a feral asshole.
Yeah, he was just like a cold-blooded killer.
Yeah, and then with the whole Michonne thing and the
man,
yeah, super gross.
Much different of a character. I like them both, but I like show governor better.
Absolutely.
Like you said, he was more dynamic, and at the same time, he lasted a lot longer, and he was played a bigger role, and you just couldn't wait for that bastard to die.
Yeah, absolutely. And in both iterations, I think in the show and the comic, you're like, all right, I want you to die. I want you to die hard.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of a synopsis on our character spotlight this week. The prison. I thought I'd mix it up, throw in a place instead of a person. Let us know if you like that, or if I should just show up and just stick to people. So next, Tyler, let's talk about love.
Let's talk about love.
Let's talk about love. Now, love on The Walking Dead happens quite frequently. It's not like Game of Thrones where it's like everyone's sleeping with everyone, sisters are sleeping with brothers and all this stuff. Yeah, I told you you're missing out.
I guess so.
You are missing out. Brothel scene every other 5 minutes. But The Walking Dead, there is some romance and there is some love in the show. So I just want to talk about love in general in The Walking Dead, what you would do, and just kind of the relationships that are in the show.
I guess it's nice to see that there are still people out there that are finding, in some form, happiness, and they're finding that through companionship, and we have the different interests that Rick has had, from his wife, and then Jesse was kind of briefly there, and then to what has progressed between him and Michonne. And I don't know. I like that because you saw Michonne, and we've seen Michonne and Carl grow closer and throughout the seasons, and for now her to kind of she can more so have that kind of motherly role with him.
Yep.
But at the same time, she's a friend to him at the same time. So there's that one, and I mean, I don't know. What do you think about the whole Rick and Michonne relationship?
At first, I didn't like it. I'm gonna be honest. At first, I didn't see it. But it's just because I think at first I read it as Andrea,
right?
And it just seemed kind of, because you could tell, you're caught up with the comic at this point, that Michonne is such a different person.
Oh, yeah,
in the
absolutely.
comic. And it's, I'm sorry, it's, I know we're talking about the show, but it's hard to kind of compartmentalize the two sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Because you read something and then when you see it, and sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it's better. Like we said, a lot of things are better in the show than in the comic, but this one, it just seemed like just knowing where Michonne came from and kind of Michonne's relationships within the show and Rick's relationships within the show, it didn't fit to me. But then I did like the first scene. It was like dad coming home after a long day of work, and mom's just kind of chilling on the couch, and they just kind of share a moment, and it seemed very natural and very organic, that scene.
Absolutely.
It took some time to get used to, but now I'm like, okay, but I still see Rick with like an Andrea.
Yeah. Yeah, or like a Jesse. I thought Jesse was going to be a good fit.
Right.
But there had been rumors for several seasons about a Rick and Michonne.
Right.
So I was waiting for
Michonne.
So I was waiting for it to happen. And then when it did happen, I mean, I was almost in disbelief, like, oh, it's actually, they're finally doing it, But I don't know. I like it. I think they complement each other very well.
Okay.
So, but like I said, I liked the idea of him and Jesse.
And it was too perfect, though.
Yeah.
It was too perfect. He's like, oh, I'm going to have another kid and kids and everything's going to be great. No, yomp, chomp, chomp, chomp. And then, okay, I guess that didn't work out. On to the next. Because Rick's always got to get a side piece.
Oh, yeah. He's always got to get a little action.
Yeah. I mean, you got to keep our main character happy, I guess.
That's true. But I was kind of looking forward just to seeing her evolve as a character.
Yeah,
because
she had a breakout moment.
Yeah.
Killed that one wolf chick.
Right, yeah. And, I mean, she was a little bit softer, because she hadn't really experienced the harsh realities of the apocalypse yet.
Mm-hmm.
And, kind of like a Carol, I thought maybe she was going to, or an Andrea, I thought she was going to kind of grow into that tough, female character. But, and then we've got, we can't really talk about love and The Walking Dead without talking about Glenn and...
It's our Ross and Rachel,
right?
Basically, of The Walking Dead. But Ross didn't get a bat to the head at the end of Friends.
It's true. And Maggie and Glenn stayed together.
Right.
That's
true.
Date each other's roommates.
That's true. Maybe Abraham and Rosita were the Ross and Rachel.
Yeah.
They just didn't get a chance. Yeah, I mean, there's even like love drama in The Walking Dead. It's like, ooh, Sasha and Rosita, which one?
Yeah.
But like you said, Glenn and Maggie, it was our love story throughout the thing, and that's why I think they had to do it. They had to kill Glenn. I understand that, but that's why I think that it hit people so hard, because the people that were watching the show for that connection. I do know, and I don't want to just say women, but there's a lot of people that I know that were just like so bummed out because they're like, that was like a love story part, and some people watch The Walking Dead for that, and I don't judge them, but and now that's gone, so it was a risky move. It was a necessary move because that's what they did, in the comic, and that's what the story called for, and that's how Maggie's gonna grow to be this crazy matriarch badass. But I could see why people were really pissed.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, from where they first met, she's just like they're at the drugstore, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sexy." She's a little more blunt about it in the comic, but
a little bit more.
And then where they actually you saw them grow together, and you saw them have this connection that was just super, super strong.
Yep.
And then with her pregnancy, it seemed, obviously, that's going to bring any couple, closer.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that was definitely a dynamic relationship, a dynamic couple that we all, I think, enjoyed.
Absolutely.
Watching them progress as a couple. So.
Yep. And then, like we joke, but I mean, man, Carol is just like the hot meal ticket on this show. She's just like, she's had so many suitors from, starting with her husband. Then we went to Axel. And then we had, and then there's always the kind of hinting at Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl always almost gets some.
Right? Almost.
He's always almost there. He's almost been there with Carol, almost been there with Beth, almost been there with, I think there was someone else too, Rick. But, Daryl's the almost. He doesn't have time for love. He's got his crossbow. Dwight, give him a damn crossbow.
He's got squirrels to kill.
He's got squirrels to kill. Got bills to pay, got mouth to feed, ain't nothing in this world for free.
He did not.
Oh man, I did. Couple more of these and I'll sing the whole song. This is wearing on me.
The what?
The breadiness is wearing on me.
Yeah, it's the maltiness.
Yes.
It's kind of
Yeah.
It's it was smooth at first, but it's becoming, I feel like, a little bit more more difficult to finish.
We're using the same mug, to be fair, so maybe just the remnants of the berry shit was at the bottom, and this is fermenting our bread now.
I wanted to have a fresh glass for the next beer.
Yeah, this is yeah, I almost want like a glass of milk. I'm like, it feels like I'm drinking like a peanut butter sandwich. Well, you put this with the beaver stout, and then you put the berry in there.
You have peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
We have in beer
You
inception.
did not plan this.
And it would all taste bad. All three of those beers suck.
I don't know. The beaver beer wasn't too bad, okay? It was a peanut butter stout.
Right. Yeah, well.
It was better than both of these.
It was. I would give the bread a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I give a bread the one up and then the beaver, I guess.
I enjoyed the beaver.
Put the beaver and the bitch together in the bread and you got a shit sandwich.
You got a sandwich together.
And you're unhappy.
Okay.
Wow, we just talked about going off the rails. Man, Tyler got so offended by the last 20 seconds of this. How dare you? This was uncouth.
The audacity.
Dirty bastard. All right. So so love in the okay. So we're gonna take Tyler out of this just circle of fun right now, and we're gonna throw your ass in the prison, in the zombie apocalypse.
Oh shit. Okay.
Are you going to look for love at this point, or are you just like love is weakness? Love is just another thing that I have to worry about. Because think about it this way: the world is basically a building on fire. You're trying to run from safe place to safe place and out of it, right? So what's the last thing you want in a building that's on fire is to worry about someone else that can't run as fast as you, or whatever. Just have to worry about someone else.
Yeah, I agree, but no. I mean, I'm in the prison in the zombie apocalypse and The Walking Dead. I'm looking for someone to smuggle up to. Okay, and I have to defend myself a little bit.
Oh.
You gave me a little shit. It was off camera last season. Emily Kinney, who plays Beth,
is
is 31.
I didn't say she wasn't. I said the character. They're the characters that are
Okay.
teens. That was also back in 2012. So what? She was like 25. No, no. Fair enough. Fair enough. But gross. She's really 31.
She's 31.
Man,
Yeah.
she's not drinking this. I mean, she's
She looks-
doing life right.
Yep.
We look like we're 41.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So.
So if I were in prison, you think she'd go for me?
Yeah. Of course.
All right.
Stud muffin. Look at this. Look at that
It's
mouth.
true. Look at that sexy zombie.
Yeah. So I'm probably in the like mind, but man, because I could just see it start, and it's just like, especially if it started today, God forbid, or Glob or Lucifer, whoever, you want to talk about, if tomorrow, my neighbor's at my door, which, oh my God, I wish happened, because I would love to, man, I'm getting arrested.
He would be dead.
Yeah, oh my God, this guy came to my door, doesn't even have to be a zombie. Anyways, I could just see it from that angle, and man, I know, like, I'd probably be done, because I would see one of my kids get it, and then I'd just be like, crap, get me killed. And,
So I just go Rick style, just do whatever it takes to keep him alive,
yeah, there's that, but, there's something to say about people that are single and, they don't have any attachment and they're just able to focus and stuff, but, even hard asses like Abraham couldn't do that, so.
Yeah. And to me, I mean, what's worth, if you don't have a reason to continue going on, especially in an environment like that, what's really going to push you to go on?
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone's badass like Daryl who can, keep on pushing on without having those reasons.
He's got Rick.
I mean, he's got Rick and he's got Carol. But, he doesn't, have that person to, snuggle up to, so to say, And for me,
I get you. Yeah, what's the world worth living if you're the last man on earth, right?
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's our talk about love. We should have saved this for next month. A little Valentine's
Right?
Day
Little
special.
Valentine's.
And then we're going to do one more portion of this second video. And I'm not going to let you do anything. You're a free man, sir. But if you'd like to talk about the YouTube channel that you found.
Yeah, so we've talked a little bit about another YouTube channel. A couple different. We talked about Trez Chan, and we've talked about The Walking Bread, which, like I think I just mentioned, I caught up all the way up, like 60 episodes in a week.
Man.
Shit's like crack.
And now it's just like, now that we're done, I'm just like, oh God, I keep checking the site.
Yeah,
like,
right?
is it up yet? Is there anything? Ah!
I'm sure I'll be like that too. But,
The 12th. The 12th is when the next one drops. Oh my God.
Well, now
hurry up,
that-
guys.
now that I've caught up, now I can, record a little something for him.
Yeah, girl.
See where that goes.
Which,
But,
I'm sorry, I'm putting you on blast. You already have it. It's fucking amazing. So I mean, this man, he recorded something. It's guys at The Walking Bread. Wait for this guy because it's awesome. It's awesome. That is all I'll say. Look for it soon.
So, anyways, I don't know what this guy's talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about either, but I just say things.
But so there's another YouTube channel that I stumbled upon. And the name of the channel is New Rockstars. They do a lot of different things, a lot of different kinds of videos, but obviously how I stumbled across them is they do a Walking Dead in-depth analysis for each episode. They have a host named Eric Boss. And I really couldn't find too much about Eric Voss, what he's done outside of New Rockstars. But I know he's a comedy writer, and he's done a couple things. He's a host in this New Rockstars. It seems that this is I think the only segment that he hosts is these in-depth analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they started like mid-season 6, but they had a different host, a guy named Philip something or other. And then season 7 is when Eric Voss took over, and I think, no offense to the Philip
something or other
gentleman, but he did a good job too, and far better entertainers and hosts than I could ever be. But and then when Eric Voss looks like he took over in season 7, and he does these in-depth analysis and for each episode, and I mean. They go pretty deep into it, and everything from the cinematography to the meanings behind each shot, and each little like symbolism in the episode, and they just kind of dissect it a little bit, and watching it, and it's funny because some of it, some of the things he'll point out, and it's the same exact things that you and I have said,
mm-hmm.
and then he'll point out different things that we've talked about, but have a completely different perspective on it.
Nice.
So it was kind of interesting. I sat and watched a few of their episodes, and kind of, it was just interesting to look at the different points of view that he had. Similar and complete opposite of things that we've said. So
absolutely.
But it looks like it, I need to check it out a little bit more. I've only watched the Walking Dead videos, but
he does quite a bit, right? Quite a bit different styles of videos.
Yeah, well, it's in the New Rock Stars. They do different videos. I think Eric Voss only does the Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
They have. It seems like they have kind of a large cast. I think they're more of like a mainstream type, But they do. I saw videos, everything from like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Doctor Strange, Deadpool.
Nice.
Different stuff. So, and actually, the funny thing is, their show. It's not his. At first, I thought it was just him, but their channel actually kind of reminded me a lot of you, and similar interests to.
They said we said.
Yeah. Well, they said we said, yeah, and just you in particular as a person, kind of things that you're into. So, check out their YouTube channel, guys. Tell me what you think, and
absolutely. So once we post these, as we do, I'll just kind of give a shout out. Or, this is our shout out. So great job, Eric Voss, New Rockstars. I've seen a lot less of you guys than Tyler has. I've seen like 1 or 2 videos. And I mean, it's phenomenal. It's in depth, like very in depth, almost to like surgical in depth analysis, which is great. But yeah, we'll kind of I'll find you in your chat room in your comments section. We'll just kind of tell you about the show and tell you that we did this, and just tell us what you think of our show. And this is how this YouTube love thing works. We're going back talking about love. We love you, Eric Voss.
About love.
We love Trev, and we love Brad, and not this bread, but walking bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's the beauty of this kind of a platform, is you get to reach out to these awesome people and collaborate sometimes, if you're lucky, and it's just a great part of this whole thing is the community. So Deadheads, that's it for video 2 of this week's segment of Dead Guys Talking. We will see you for part 3 coming up when we crack open Mr. Ichthyosaurus.
The Icky.
And we bring you Tyler's Big 5. See you in a minute.